On Journalism National Day, journalists continue to face harassment and oppression, especially in Houthi-controlled areas. This report has more.
9 years ago, press freedom witnessed its worst phase, and the Yemeni Journalist Syndicate has documented a number of cases. Violations of freedom of opinion and expressions committed by the Houthis is done through harassments and threats, as journalists suffer in various Yemeni governorates, the most recent of which were the enforced arrest against 3 journalists in Ma'rib.
I think the worst period for Yemeni journalists has been the last 9 years. The war has affected journalists. They face many challenges in Yemen and their lives are the price.
Real challenges and risks facing journalists in Yemen is due to political divisions in the country and widespread corruption. Journalists in Yemen suffer a bitter reality and a real disaster as a direct consequence of the lack of respect for freedom of expression and fear of the press and journalists in particular. Since the Houthi coup, the situation became more complicated for journalists due to the iron grip of the Houthi group and its dealings with the media, which amounted to forcing them to publish propaganda that incites war.
The situation of journalists and freedom of speech in the country is really terrifying. Journalists can't do their jobs. This is happening due to the war and lack of awareness. There is no freedom of speech in Houthi-controlled areas or in other areas as well.
Journalists in Yemen are also subjected to a campaign of incitement that has undermined the public's trust in the press and newspapers. Yemen is the worst freedom of press worldwide, so this requires international organizations concerned with human rights and the press to interfere and to stop the threats and violations against journalists in Yemen and guarantee freedom of opinion and expression.